Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel for another iRacing video. Simple man, when I see Bathurst on the schedule, I make it a mission to try and get to that race. So we're in the production car challenge? What's it called? On screen. Production car sim lab challenge. That's a mouthful. And we're driving the Mazda MX-5. Qualifying went pretty well. I've set my fastest ever time, but that's still not really put me too high up the grid. So yeah, we've got some work to do in the race. Let's jump on in and see how we get on. Alright, we're here at Bathurst today in the Mazda MX-5. It's the production car cup though, it's not the advanced challenge. So yeah, I think this is only the second time I've ever run this. The first one was when I was still sort of a 1.3k rating and I jumped into it and it was all Mazdas at Summit Point, and this guy just killed me.
Wait. About to go green, stay focused.
Alright, trouble with the overlays there. Had far too many SDK displays on there, so going to be no map for this one sadly. Alright, so the Mustangs ahead have cleared out. Time for us to do our bit. Around the final corner for the first time. And here we are, green across the line then. So yeah, we're in the Mazdas in the production car challenge, so mixed class race here around Bathurst. I qualified with my personal best ever time around this track in this car, and it was still only good enough for P5, so it's not ideal. And we lost a position off the line, got mugged there. Not paying attention, trying to sort my overlay out.
Still there, hold your line.
Never want to be on the outside going into this corner. It's a Bathurst top trick, so we'll fall back in line. But yeah, 25-minute race, so lots of time for carnage to unfold around this track. So mission one is just to make it to the end of the race in one piece, and then we'll worry about positions, or positions in class after that. A lot of the guys in this split are sort of lower rated than I am, but very, very fast. And the guy that qualified pole in our class was he set a time of is it 1 minute or 2 minute around here? I think it must be 2 minute. But he was a 30 anyway, and I can manage a 32.5 as a personal best, so very rapid, that's for sure. God, already nearly the mountain killed us. Squirrely there in a position we've not been squirrely in practice, so that was a real surprise. Had to fight it hard to keep hold of it. Expecting lots of purple sectors in this race as the draft manages to pull us along faster than we obviously would do normally. So far so good on the first lap, so Ixie is in front of us, pulled a little bit of a gap to guys behind us, hopefully we can form a bit of a breakaway. I'll be looking to try and get past Ixie, lower rated, slightly slower in qualifying than what I was.
You got a slow car on the right.
And one of the Mustangs has gone round there. That bunched up the rest of the MX-5s ahead of us, so they're leading forward, just starting to pull away from us a little bit, so that bottled us back up. I'm all the way back to first with this final corner. I said it before in this car, but plucking first just helps to rotate the car a little bit in the sort of in the slower speeds. So I like to use that first gear to get around that corner there. I'll even use it here as well just to get that extra punch through the mid corner. So Tyson behind us closed in a little bit there. I think he's made up a couple of positions in the back end of the lap. Bit of rubbing ahead of us as Ixie takes a weird line and we have to go a little bit wide to give space. That's allowed Tyson right up to close up on us. Through the cut in then as we start to climb. the latter section towards the top of the hill. Very close at the front here. Might be the kind of race where it's mistakes that decide it as opposed to actual overtakes. Just need to make sure that I can actually see apexes and stuff as we go across the top. So easy to make a mistake even when you're just driving by yourself. Thought the yellow car was in the wall then. Somehow managed to get away with it, I don't know how. Looked very much like it was straight lining into the outside of the S's. Good run through the elbow there. Pulled a little bit of a gap again on Tyson, who'd got really close over the top. But we're all in a long slipstream here, so probably won't gain any time on the guys around us. So we're all just towing along together. Little mistake from Ixie there, ran wide at the bottom of the chase.
Still there. Still there, hold your line.
Nice side-by-side action here. Hopefully I'll get the position as we come through turn 1.
Stay on the left. Clear.
Alright, position gain, but we over-revved a little bit on the gear change. And we've lost the toe just a bit. We'll send Dixie to the outside if he gets the run.
Left side.
And then just creep across the track with him.
Still there.
He should back out of it. If he doesn't, he'll likely end up in the wall.
Clear on the left.
Which he does. Good move. Alright, important move that. I'm glad we got past him. Just felt like he might slow us down a little bit through this race. And managed to get the move done as a mistake came at the bottom of the chase. Now hopefully for me, Tyson's going to jump on the back of him, put him under pressure, and we can just pull away as a little quintet at the front here. I say that, the leader's actually bridged the rest of us a little bit here. The yellow car puts his nose somewhere you don't ever really want to be putting your nose at Bathurst. We got super squirrely through the dipper. I think we've got a bit of a better run than Ixie though, so hopefully we can keep him behind as we get down to bottom. Gonna need a mistake from the guys in front, to be fair, they're pulling away a bit. A little bit wider than I would have liked there, but Tyson's biffed Ixie. And there was a change for position ahead of us as well there. The yellow car has got through. Alright, so that's made us a little bit of an island now, so save mistakes from the guys ahead of us or some bump drafting from the guys behind. This might be the end of our competitive race here. See how we get on. I mean, it's Bathurst, mistakes are almost expected, as opposed to just being likely.
Oh, Gil, this was beautiful to watch.
P5 as it stands, heading up the mountain, lap 4, closing in on about a third distance through. Need to remind myself as we get later in this race that the tyres do fall off in this Mazda. Braking zones definitely get longer. This race was right on the cusp of the fuel limit. 16, it sort of jumps in category. It's probably in gallon amounts, but I've got it set to litres, so it jumps in about 3 litre increments. So 16.2 is what it was, is what I put in the car at least, which should do us 11.3 laps, and we're expecting an 11 lap race. So I joined the grid right at the last minute to save fuel sitting there. And if we do get any slipstream through the rest of the race, that'll help with a bit of lift and coast. So Pablo closing up behind us now is 1.3 seconds away. Guys in front didn't really lose that any time that last lap there. So I am being caught a little bit from behind. Also being dropped from ahead, which isn't good. Pablo really putting some time into us. Obviously he'll be getting the draft from behind as well, but I don't think when he started his pursuit of me that he was close enough really to be getting the draft, but either way he's closing up. Just hope that Tyson behind him doesn't come as well. Be good to battle maybe just with Pablo, but not sure about us getting in a bit of a three-way fight. Massive gap behind P7 though, behind Tyson. Guto ahead of us has just looked to have lost the leaders a bit there as well, lost his draft. So the race definitely starting to string out a bit now. To start closing in on half distance. I always love driving these cars. They're always so close, very competitive. As always, I wish I was the guy chasing rather than leading. The draft around here is just incredible. I'll even tow him all the way across the top of the mountain here, like he'll get the draft all the way across the top. Alright, don't know if Pablo went a little bit wide there through the elbow, might have just lost his run that he was getting on us. Did drop back just a smidge at the exit of the elbow. Doesn't really make any odds to us, he's still going to pick the slipstream up, and we're still not really close enough to Guto, so same again this lap, stay as we were. The leading three really pulling away now. So we get a bit of grass in the braking zone. I've actually found in this car it helps to rotate a little bit in the turning phase, but that was maybe a little bit too much, wrestling a bear. Not really made any difference ahead to Guto in that lap there. I think it was 3.2 last lap and it was 3.1 this lap, so pretty much the same. Pablo very much enjoying our draft on the way up the mountain.
Left side. Clear on the left.
You never really want to be around the outside at that corner there, second corner on the track. Can't remember the name of it now off the top of my head. We'll worry about that later. So that allowed Tyson to get past Pablo there then. It's an inexperienced Bathurst move to try and go around the outside there for Pablo. It only really works if the guy on the inside brakes early and sort of lets you have it, which certainly wasn't about to do at that point. Bit of a wall kiss. That was the first time I tried to stay in second going through the dipper rather than I've been going back down to first, but tried to stay in second. It felt like I had decent grip and good car handling going down through the S's, but it bit me that time. Tyson gets up the inside with the run here, which he probably is going to do. I'm going to let him have it because I want to steal his draft for a little bit.
Still there, hold your line. Clear on the left.
Again on that same bit of grass. Fortunately for me, Tyson got a bit squirrely as well, which meant that he didn't manage to scamper away.
You've got about 5 laps of fuel.
Stepped heavy on the brakes there. Alright. So Tyson ahead now, Pablo behind. Scampered away a little bit, just going through T1 there, but again there's not a big deal really, because not going to make a move going up the straight here anyway. Conscious of Pablo behind us, looking like he wants to be last of the late breakers all the time. And up the mountain we go again. It'll give me a little bit of fuel save now behind Tyson. I think 1.41 gets us safely home on the fuel average. You can see it's just gone up to 1.42, so just starting to get a little bit nervous of it. So a couple of laps following someone else will just help that number come down to a more comfortable number. The predicted laps is still looking positive, it's still looking like what I want it to say, but just would rather be safe than sorry with the maths. Looks like Tyson scraped the wall then on the entrance to the elbow, which I've not really seen before. I'm going to try and give Tyson a bit of a bump. Keep it straight, Tyson. Didn't get there in the end. I was actually racing with Peter at Sleepy Cat Race. Oh, we were in a practice session the other day, both of us, and went to try and give him a bump draft in one of these. And just hit him way too hard. Nearly turned him round. Backed off massively into that corner then. It looked like Tyson was going around, but 2 wheels deep onto the grass. Just clipped the limiter there coming out of T1. That won't help us. And if Pablo starts sniffing his nose around again, then that'll slow us down even more. quite well matched for pace, us three here all together. It's literally just the draft that's keeping us together like this. In fact, Tyson's best lap time is actually faster, although he did have the draft behind me for quite a while. I think I set a 32, or is it fastest lap 32.2 with not very much draft, but yeah, it's hard to know what our flat out pace would be if it wasn't for the slipstreaming. He braked a lot earlier than I was expecting there, and as a result I just lost my bearings completely. Nah, my steering's completely bent now. As Pablo scrapes that wall again. Now the steering's not much of a problem, I could deal with that, but I will definitely have lost speed here. So we'll try and stay in the slipstream just to hang on. That is an annoying clip to have happened. I don't normally brake until the straight section across the top there. But it just caught me out by being on the brakes earlier, and as I had to get on the brakes as well to not crash into him. Just stepped the side out a little bit, and like I say, I lost my bearings, lost my reference points.
Car on your left. Clear on the left.
Alright, one of the Mustangs is in the pits there, so it was a pretty small class to start with. That's basically the lead has been given the race there. Alright, so you can see from the steering wheel that we're definitely not steering straight here, but seeming to actually still be getting some pace out of the car, which is a relief. Baby bump that time just before the braking zone. Wasn't really much of a push, to be honest. Now Tyson's hit the wall a couple of times himself as well, so I'm not sure if his car's starting to feel the ill effects of that or what's going on. It certainly doesn't seem to be as fast as it has been previously. Right, I need to remember that he brakes earlier than what I would do. Oh, I've done it again. Unbelievable. Just that earlier braking, I'll just lose where I am completely, and so tucked up behind his boot lid there. As he scrapes that same wall at the elbow once again. Probably going to be vulnerable to Pablo this time down. And surely we've got extra damage on the car this time around.
Car right. Keep to the left. Keep to the left. Clear on the right.
Pablo gone too deep. Keeps it on the island, bit of contact between them.
Clear on the right.
Alright, so Pablo's got the move on us.
White flag this time.
The wounded lamb at the back. Pablo's looking very racy throughout the whole race. Let's see if he manages to keep it clean or not. Do or die time now for us. Try and really get that slipstream and see if we can make some moves.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel.
It all comes down to the chase, down the chase. Tyson runs a bit wide there, but they're still side by side.
Left side. Clear on the left.
Didn't need to push the issue there with Tyson going up towards the cutting. It's not going to be an overtaking space really anyway. I didn't trust myself to try and get around the outside there, and it would just lose momentum, and then Pablo would get away. I mean, realistically, best case scenario for me right now is if these two have a tangle at the bottom of the chase, and I can get that P5 back, but apparently there's a wall coming up just up here that I keep on crashing into, so I'm going to need to try and make sure that we don't do that this time. There it is. Looks like Pablo hit that wall on the right there, coming out of the dipper.
Car right. Clear. Car on your left.
We get the outside of the elbow.
Still there, hold your line.
Alright, we really need to get some slipstream from someone.
Stay on the right.
Nice and close as we go down, Conrad.
Still there, hold your line. Clear on the left. Car on your left. Clear on the left.
Hoping he goes too deep, he does. Great switchback. Oh my lord, that feels like a win after this. Can't believe 2 clips on the wall, but yeah, great race you two, nice job.
Great battle, guys. Great battle.
Epic race. Love Bathurst, so much fun.
Nice.
Just imagine the high IQ play of creaming the wall one lap, and then the next lap creaming the exact same place on the exact same wall. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know if I'd have got Tyson, to be honest, with a damaged car or not. He was rubbing that wall up against the elbow, sort of on the entrance into it, but I don't think it was really damaging his car, and he seemed to have good pace up until the end there when I was catching him across the top. But on the run down Conrad right at the end there, he was just sort of running away from us. So yeah, I'm not sure if the car hadn't been damaged, if we had caught him or not. We'll never know, but either way, it was a really fun race for those two guys. I'm glad that I telegraphed the move from Pablo and sort of let him come straight through the inside and straight out the other side there. But yeah, and it's last lap Bathurst, isn't it? He's always going to try that there. So yeah, if it had made it stick, then awesome move, and it didn't do so. Happy days for me. It just meant that I got an extra position, but yeah, not the finest showing. Again, I seem to be making a habit of this. It's a good season so far. Started out with the win in the Radical, and it's just slowly plummeted ever since then. But yeah, that's going to be everything for this one. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. And consider subscribing if you're new here and you've not done that already. Other than that, take it easy and look after yourself. I'll catch you in the next one.